Hey guys, so there was no mission video again this week, so we're just going to do the opposite of what we did last week, a series that you thought you would never get into but ended up getting into. And the one I'm going to talk about is going to surprise a lot of you, and that's Death Note. I mean, there's a ton, just a ton. I mean, anime in general, most animes I got into. Started out going, that looks weird, not going to like that, or that looks boring, or that looks stupid, or anything like that. And, but Death Note is probably my favorite story, and that's just because it went so fast. You know, a lot of them I had heard about for a while, like, you know, Gundam Wing I'd heard about since I was 13, or Inuyasha I had heard about for a couple, well, not even a couple of years, but heard about for a while. Death Note I had never heard of until Anime Detour 2007, my very first anime convention. Because I wasn't really involved in the anime community. I had only just recently gotten back into anime, and so I really wasn't involved with any kind of community, so I really hadn't heard anything about it. So this was my first kind of dive into a community since high school. And I had heard people talk about Death Note all weekend, and I can't remember if it was like Saturday or Sunday of Anime Detour, and I was walking around the dealer room and found a Death Note, and so I was like, okay, let's just see what this is all about. So I pick it up and I open it into the middle, and I just see notebook paper, and I think, okay, bored. Put that away, and I didn't look at the beginning. Had I looked at the beginning of it, I would have read the rules and would have probably been enticed to watch it. Fast forward to Anime Evolution 2007, where I was in Vancouver for this convention. I was in line for Bradswell's autograph. It was the first time I ever met him, and I had become line buddies with this girl who was cosplaying Misa, and she had this Death Note, and she was talking about, she just automatically assumed I was a Death Note fan because, you know, I was in Bradswell's line, and he had just been announced as Light, but I was there because he was Captra. I kind of sat there and listened to her rave about Death Note, and obviously spoiler free because she never spoiled anything, but she just thought it was really cool, and she was really excited to hear the dub and all that kind of stuff. And so we get up to the front of the line, and they think we're, you know, friends, so they send us up together to go up to Brad. He's talking about how cool the series is, and he looks at me and says, have you seen it or read it? And I said, I had really never heard about it except for like a couple of months ago. And he goes, well, you need to watch it, so come October when it comes on, you should watch it. Because I hear that's when it's coming out on Cartoon Network. So I'm like, okay, great. So, because he knew I was from Minnesota. And so I decided to check it out in October. And not only that, but there were some other things throughout the convention too that made me a little bit more interested. I kind of got an idea of what Death Note was about with this cosplay like skit thing on Sunday before I left, where the same girl who was cosplaying that Misa was with a Light, and he wrote Sephiroth's name in the Death Note, and Sephiroth fell dead, and I was like, okay, now I'm a little more intrigued by this series. So I decided to check it out, and I fell in love with it with the first episode. So that's my story. I just find that one kind of the most interesting out of all of the other ones, which are just, oh, I heard about it, really wasn't interested, tried it, loved it. This one actually kind of had steps to me falling in love with it, so it was kind of fun. But Tori, we will see you tomorrow.